It's the Life of a Philly Fan podcast. I'm Aiden Powers. I'm here with Vince Sion. Another jam-packed show. We keep saying it week after week. I'm just saying it to keep up appearances at this point. But another week of meaningful Eagles football, Vince. I'm excited. We're in the playoffs, but tricky situation for you. Multiple times on this podcast so far, you have said the Bears this year are the Eagles of last year. So if the Bears of this year are playing the Eagles this year, what do you do, man?
I think the universe explodes. Like if you meet your dark matter self, you explode. I heard that somewhere before. So like this is like the Eagles of an alternate timeline. So if they meet, your
It's
kids
like a Rick
disappear.
and Morty episode.
Yeah, or like Back to the Future or something like that. Yeah,
we'll start evaporating into thin air.
Yeah, I think it's not gonna be good for science, but it'll be good football. That's for sure.
It won't be good for science, but it'll be good football.
Yeah.
I was curious. I was thinking that. I was like, if the Bears are the Eagles of this year, but they're playing the Eagles, one of those unstoppable forces meets an immovable object. What are we going to do? I was thinking about you while I was watching those games. I was like, his take, one of them's going to run into each other like a head-on collision.
Yeah. Nowhere in my mind all year was I thinking forward to now, where we might have to play them in the playoffs.
It was always a tomorrow problem, especially with the way the season was going.
Yeah,
never thought you'd be here.
That's one of those problems where you're not that's not a real problem.
It's like doing your taxes. You're I'm not doing that. I'll put it off, and then all of a sudden, it's either that or you could be audited by the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
You've run into that. Except you're going to be audited by the Chicago Bears defense. That's pretty much.
It's going to go. It may be an audit. That's
so that I don't know if that's the right word. We could use some more explicit words to describe what their defense is like. But we'll get into that for sure. But before we do, let's just talk about the viewing experience this past Sunday, because it was one of those you always remember where you were. It was that much fun, and it kind of played out exactly how we had hoped it would have played out. We talked about it last week. Is Kirk Cousins finally going to be clutch? Is it the moment where he can no longer be this choke artist? Nope.
The exact opposite, in fact.
Yeah, it was actually the worst choke of all time for him. So it was great. It was phenomenal. Just give me a brief rundown of your viewing experience this past week.
Well, I did what I said. I had the two TVs set up, which was pretty cool. And then it ended up both of the TVs were made by the same company. So I had one on mute and one with the volume on. And then with the press of one mute button, they both flipped.
Oh, wow.
So I was living the dream. So I'm sitting there watching both games.
Fancy. Already in 2019 you are.
I know. I'm in 3019.
3019.
I was in the future with that. But specifically the Eagles game, that was, I want to say the most exciting game this year. It wasn't football wise, but
exciting moment.
Yeah. What it meant for the playoffs and stuff like that. That's what made it the most exciting game to me of the year. I was on my seat the most out of any game.
Yeah, it's ironic because it was one of those games. Literally the first play of the game, it's an interception from Russell Douglas, and I'm like, okay, this is going to play out exactly how I thought it was going to play out.
Yeah.
And this will not be much of a contest.
Yeah, it was
still you were on the edge of your seat because of the implications going on with the other game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not as fancy as you. I was watching TV and then laptop, but I kept darting my head. I'm like, what just happened? I felt like I didn't focus on the Eagles enough, and I was like, well, I'm getting ahead of myself again. I've done this all year, but it was called for. I feel like right before the game started, and it was winding down the minutes in the meaningless Cowboys game, but they were playing their starters anyway. Bonehead move. And then it was setting in. I was like, today's going to go how we wanted it to go.
There was that one 10, 15 minutes where
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, where the Vikings scored.
It was 13-10.
Yeah, it was getting close in both games, and you're like, oh shit. Because the Vikings are getting close, but then you're also the Eagles game was getting kind of close, and you're like, what's happening here?
You're like oh,
could this
you're like oh man.
Yeah, in my head, the back of my head, and the whole time, it was we've been saying the Eagles game is a lock. We've been saying that the whole time.
It would have been so fitting for the Vikings to lose and then us also lose.
Yeah. Also, I just want to throw this out there right now. I'm getting completely mind-fucked right now because we're talking about Kirk Cousins and the Vikings playing the Bears. And we're also talking about the Eagles and the Redskins. And I could have, almost slipped up and, had the Eagles playing the Vikings this week and said that out loud and looked like an idiot on the podcast.
There was so much screen. You're going back and forth so much. You and your little button,
Yeah.
in one TV and the other. Got me all screwed
I'm
up.
watching Kirk Cousins play and I'm watching the Eagles play and they're playing the Redskins too, so it's messing with my head even more.
Kirk Cousins, and then you were also watching everything that Kirk Cousins was supposed to be.
Exactly.
And Nick Foles. I thought it was so funny this week. He nonchalantly tied the record for consecutive completions in a game, and like no one batted an eye. We were so focused on the other game and making it into the playoffs. And it's like it's his like probably fifth most impressive performance of this calendar year in 2018.
Was this the Nick Foles game?
Was this? Yeah, we put that out there, and then he's still having Nick Foles games. Didn't we do that before the Texans game, or it was after the Rams game? I'm pretty sure that we did
it was
that.
before the Texans
So he's had two
game.
more Nick Foles games since we had that discussion. That's what I'm saying. He tied the NFL record for consecutive completions, utter dominance, 24-0, and we're not even like discussing it at all.
Did you hear him after the game too? He had no idea.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, who has the record for most consecutive completions in their head, and who counts their own completions in a row?
I feel like guys know their stats though. Like it'd be hard to count like 25 straight, but you check the stat sheets after the game. Like
Yeah.
Good example: the Steelers, who are an absolute train wreck because they're all me instead of we.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, Antonio Brown checks his stats. Le'Veon Bell, when he actually played football, checked his stats. I guarantee it. But Nick Foles, I believe he didn't know that he broke the record.
No, I do too. He just seems like he doesn't care about stuff like that. I mean, everyone cares a little bit.
You care a little bit because like okay, if you don't play well, you don't get paid, you don't win, you end up like Kirk Cousins, where you're enemy number one. But so you care about your stats a little bit in that sense. But he's definitely a guy where he's like, we won the game. Like we're still going. I'm still a Philadelphia Eagle for at least another week.
You know what's weird is he didn't seem like he was like super upset about not getting the record too, which
at this point, does he need the record? He
has how many times does he need to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I know. His legend is already set. He doesn't need the record. He can tie it. And on that throw, he almost had 26. Like it wasn't a great throw, but it was a catchable ball by Aguilar.
It was a pretty bad throw.
And then they went right back and scored on this. They were on the same play and
play.
scored the next time. So it was like 25-20 or 26-27. I'll take it.
That throw I did want to talk about though because it was a bad throw. Don't sugarcoat it at all. It was he threw it behind him and not like it was like at his fingertips behind him too. He would have had the.
I'll take 25 out of every 26 throws or pinpoint.
Oh yeah, me too, 100%. But I'm saying like, is that not like quintessential Nick Foles? Will go 25 perfect passes and then just throw a dog shit throw that doesn't really matter. It doesn't
happened
hurt the team.
Literally in the first drive. He looked like unreal, and we were going, and then he threw an interception, overthrew two guys. I think he was targeting Ertz and just let it sail.
Yeah.
Interception. I was like, don't do this to me. I wanted to get up early so I could focus on the other game. It ended up working out where we had that 11, 12-minute drive where just pure domination. I can't stress enough like that. I love just not only just winning, just dominating a team. The Bears, we're going to get into their domination, but it was just so much fun to drive down the field for 12 minutes, score a touchdown, and be like, okay, this team has no chance. Don't even give up 100 yards. Nate Sudfeld throws his first career touchdown, gives it to the kid. And then
oh my God. Can we talk about that for a second?
Hilarious.
I thought, because when I saw that happen, like I knew it was Nate Sudfeld's first like touchdown.
I didn't think about it.
Like, I don't know why it just clicked in my head. I saw like him running over the stands. I'm like, is he gonna give this football away? Like, and then he gave it to a kid. I was like, oh no, he gave it to a kid. What's gonna happen? And then he took it back, and like the kid gave it back. The kid's mom looked pissed, by the way. I don't think
she really didn't understand.
She definitely didn't understand what's going on.
Also, if you're ever in that situation, always give the ball back, because it's either you get one ball or you give the ball back to whatever historical purpose it is, and you get a bunch of gear.
Oh yeah.
Like if it's a historic home run, 500, 600,
that's what I was just about to
anything
say.
like that, give the ball back, because guess what? You're gonna get a signed bat, signed helmet, signed batting.
Oh yeah, use that and
you're
wager
gonna be
and
in
get
the dugout, and you're gonna be like in the clubhouse taking pictures with dudes. You're gonna get club box seats. It's not worth the ball because you're gonna get so much other stuff.
Yeah, I want a 1-day contract with the team. I want a World Series ring next time you guys win. I want to be in the room when you sign Bryce Harper. Like, get anything out of it that you can. Like, if it's just like some random rookie that hits a home run, you can still fleece an MLB team for that ball.
Absolutely.
Because you know how bad that player wants that ball, and you know how bad the team wants to get that player the ball.
Yes.
Like, if say like on Scott Kingery's first term out, which I think there was some like the guy tried to like leverage him into some more stuff, and that's like the first time I thought about this. Like, I want a Reese Hoskins signed ball. I want an Aaron Nola signed ball. I want signed bats from everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
and
yeah.
I'm
Whole
not
starting lineup is giving me a bat.
And
I don't even care if it's one of the mini bats.
The crazy thing about me is I'm not selling that shit either. That's just mine now.
Oh yeah,
like,
I'm putting it. You see what we got going on. Guess what?
Yeah.
Next podcast is gonna be sitting right here.
Yeah, that's like I'm not like one of the guys that like OJ robbed. Like I'm not one of the people that sells memorabilia. Like I'll never care about that, and I'll never buy memorabilia from someone that isn't the player. No. Like I don't have something signed.
I want a story behind it.
Exactly.
You know?
Like I don't want a question mark next to it. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you printed that off.
The only certificate of authenticity I want is that they hit a home run into the outfield, and I was standing there, caught it, and it didn't kill me.
Yeah, and you get the screen grab off of NBC Sports Philly, and then you send it to the people that make the certificates, and then give you the certificate of authenticity.
Exactly.
Because if I get a real-ass one, rest assured I'm getting that. I'm going to get a certificate of authenticity.
And on top of that, the chance to go viral. That kid,
exactly,
bright smile all over Twitter waves, all over the news, everything like that. He was the hero, and there were many heroes that day. And he was like, it was like the perfect storybook ending to the regular season. Everyone won, even that kid. He's the first.
Yeah, he got another ball. I'm sure he got it signed by half the team.
Fly him to Chicago. He needs to be sitting front row.
Yeah,
That's
that
what we
too.
need to do. We need a little good luck charm. That little kid. You know how teams always have rally squirrels? We're gonna have a rally little kid.
Yeah,
a Sudfeld kid.
Yeah, someone who took 2 PR classes. The PR staff saw that happen, and they were like, jackpot.
Yep. Oh yeah, they were like, oh man, we're gonna soak this.
Yeah, the
this
social media account, like they
done.
got his dad's Twitter. His dad made a Twitter for this, like
Wait,
after that
real?
happened. No, probably not. But
that's happened before though.
Yeah, like if
People
I'm
go viral, like I started a Twitter account just to
like the Embiid snowman girl. Like that's one of my favorite accounts on Twitter.
Yes.
I think the name's Sharkel right now because her name's Charlotte.
Sharkel Embiid. Yeah, isn't it Sharkel Embiid?
The name's just Sharkel, but then the @ is like @ snowman Embiid because she likes Frozen too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite accounts.
I know, it always pops up. They do a good job. Good
it just happened. It just happened. Yeah, you're welcome. Shout us out too.
Yeah.
Bad radio, but good video podcast. We'll talk about that in a little while.
There you go.
But give a little wink, shout us out. Yeah, like how they get lucky with their dad's funny and their daughter's adorable. But,
there you go. Yeah. It's all it takes. All it takes is your big break. That kid got his big break. Now our big break obviously was Kirk Cousins being a loser. It's just so much fun to bully Minnesota. Just another like moment where they come up small. Their fan base. What else did you expect? They were down 2 touchdowns, and they still had a legitimate chance to come back. And they were already booing. Like, they knew it was over. They'd been down this road before. They knew it was coming, and it was
the polite
hilarious.
Minnesota fans went up there and booed.
Yeah. Oh my god. Us terrible, hostile Eagles fans. Also, Eagles fans, can we talk about this? Taking over yet another stadium. FedEx Field, the Redskins blogs have been popping up, Vikings blogs too, just going off, just because we've been making fun of them.
Yeah.
But the Redskins blogs have been so mad with the amount of Eagles fans that were in the stadium.
I know.
You heard a "Let's Go Bears" chant in FedEx Field. I was like, this is perfect. This is so perfect. We're just owning other franchises, other stadiums. We just come and take over. Don't know if it'll happen in Chicago. Great fans. But FedEx Field, Minnesota, screw you guys. Thanks for the ride. Enjoy your regular season moments. We'll kiss you and see you goodbye for the playoffs. But the real thing is, all right, so Bears defense, they bully Minnesota. Love bullying Minnesota. But as I was watching that game, the fear crept into my mind. I was like, this Chicago defense is so good. And then I was like, wait, this Chicago defense is really good. Like, I went from excited because they were helping us out to, I guess fearful is the word, because I was like, this is what we're walking into. So
it kind of felt like a movie where, like, I don't know what movie is exactly like this, but, like, I don't know. Like, it's like you're rooting for the Bears, and then you get the realization where you're like, oh, no, we got to deal with them in a week.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like the videos on America's Funniest Home Videos where someone walks into, like, a pole or something, or they step on a plank, and it pops up and hits them in the face. And then you end up doing the same exact thing.
Yeah. Like
you laugh at them and you're like, oh,
yeah,
shit,
like you make fun of someone for doing something stupid, then you do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's a pretty good like we're making fun of the Vikings for losing to the Bears. We're probably gonna lose to the Bears.
Right? Like if like they lost 24-10. If we turned around and lost 24-10, I would not be shocked.
No, me either.
I mean, I'm positive. So spin zone on this. the Bears defense and the Bears in general are not going to sneak up on us because we've spent this past week watching them.
Yeah, we do have the film on them though.
Yeah, but I was watching more of their game than our game. I know a lot about the Bears, and I watched a few of their games this year.